I'm Nick Samain, Senior Vice President with DMG Events, proudly based here in Alberta. We're a large company that operates in almost every country, every continent around the world. And our events division is now producing more than 100 major exhibitions in energy, construction. We do events in coatings, furnitures, and otherwise. Here in Canada, where we're proudly based here in Alberta with our North American headquarters, we focus mainly on the energy sector with shows like we're here today at Carbon Capture Canada. We're quite unique, so we are the largest operator of energy events and owner of energy events around the world. And what that does is it gives us a unique perspective when we come into certain geographies, and where we are here today in the wonderful, Edmonton Region and all the great things happening in energy. DMG, we can draw upon events such as Gas Tech that we recently concluded, and we have the chance to reach out to them and do that really important storytelling about what's happening in other parts of the world in energy. So we've two amazing events that have come about quite recently here to Edmonton. The Canadian Hydrogen Convention and Carbon Capture Canada. And when we look to see where should these events take place, and this was an interesting time when both of these events were conceived and floored. We were just post-pandemic. The events really were something that, for a time being, we didn't know if these were even going to be able to happen or at a certain scale. And we get up to Edmonton quite regularly, and we come and meet with, we came up to meet with Edmonton Global and sat down, and immediately we started to develop a really strong relationship because we were two organizations, DMG and Edmonton Global, that could kind of throw our ideas on the table and say, oh, you really think we could, yeah, we could try that. They say, fortune favors the bold. Well, I think both of our organizations have that in our DNA. And so we decided, let's take all of these conversations that are happening in different parts of the country about hydrogen. Let's create a national convention, and the natural place for that national convention to be was here in Edmonton. Bring into the mix amazing city partners here, Explore Edmonton, fantastic professional, amazing co-hosts, just the support here from the city and the province it makes it a natural place to be. Carbon Capture Canada, which came a little bit later, also in 2022, was again driven by that need. There was lots of information out there, and because of the events that we operate in scale and our ability to draw in that international, we like to say, let's make one national convention, which we're sitting here today, bring in that international group and bring in all the stakeholders and say, how can we move this sector forward? We know we can do that with the power of community. And, back to the origin of this, it's just such a wonderful partnership now that we continue to see new avenues of growth between DMG Events and Edmonton Global. We are so excited for the future. Carbon Capture Canada, we have some really exciting long-term goals for this event. First and foremost, we believe that the home for this event is Edmonton and will be Edmonton, with all of the incredible initiatives being driven here in the CCUS space, from technology, from new projects, from the amazing and exciting investments that are coming through, of course facilitated by organizations like Edmonton Global, bringing in those eyes to say, that's great. We plan for Carbon Capture Canada to continue to be that meeting place and that facilitator for people to come and see, wow, I didn't know. That's one of the things here when I'm walking around the convention is say, how is the show? I love to just stop and chat with anybody that's walking the aisle, and they say, almost every time, the first thing to say, I didn't know. I didn't know whether that's how nice of restaurants there are in downtown Edmonton. I didn't know how beautiful it is here, the River Valley. I didn't know how many companies are doing so many amazing things in technology. Just that I didn't know continues to expand with all the visitors that come here. So we see Carbon Capture Canada continuing to grow and scale upwards. And as we heard today through the two-day conference with major investments that are pending or underway here, that the show will scale in line with the very exciting future here for CCUS and the Edmonton region. We have a chance to have a global impact on these big issues of the day, decarbonizing, meeting climate goals, because of the work that's being done right here in Alberta. And I just think that's cool.